Hello and welcome to the Boston and Brotherly podcast, where three geniuses are going to talk about basketball for a little bit. So on today's agenda, we're going to address a couple topics around the association. We're going to start with, as we approach the All-Star break, we're going to talk a little bit about the MVP race.
Yep. Award races are definitely heating up, Aiden. As you can see, Jokic, this first straw poll of the season came out today, and Jokic was the favorite. He is also the favorite on all betting sites. Significantly, he's minus odds. Interesting, to say the least.
I mean, is he really the MVP this year? There's so many other options. There's Luka, there's Shea. You could even push Giannis up the way he's playing recently.
Yeah.
But Jokic, is he just moving into the second spot because Embiid just is gone?
It does. It feels like that.
Yeah, it is what it feels like.
Because I mean, the discourse, we already know how toxic and overhyped whatever the debate between Embiid and Jokic got. So it kind of feels like they're still lingering onto that. And just because Joel got hurt, I mean, you can't overlook Luka Doncic, who's currently averaging 35, 9, and 9 on some calm shit, and he doesn't miss threes.
Well, it seemed also when it was Embiid versus Jokic that it was more about Jokic fans trying to prove that Jokic was better than Embiid, and that not that Jokic was the MVP, but that he was better than Embiid. But now that Embiid's gone, his competition, it's all better offensive players than him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Luka's a way better offensive player. Shai Gilgeous, I mean, some people would say it's closer with that one, but if you look at the defensive side, it's not necessarily close with that debate between Gilgeous and Jokic. And also, the Thunder are 2 spots ahead of them, and Shai's doing everything on that team.
Even Giannis just dumpstered on the Nuggets. Giannis and Doc.
Yep.
Giannis and Doc Rivers.
And those games are important. The head-to-head games are important in the MVP race, and
yeah,
Jokic didn't come through.
I mean, if head-to-head's so important and Embiid's ducking Jokic.
You realize what happens when they play, though? You dummy.
Yeah, I do. I do understand that.
Twice in a row. Come on. He doubles his stats every time they play.
But he had 48 twice in a row.
He ducked him because he got hurt, so. We saw how that turned out.
We did. Now Jokic is the MVP favorite.
And Embiid's legs going the wrong way.
It's an evil world, but Buddy Love is the truth, and he's a Celtics killer.
Mm-hmm.
Can he come through in a big moment? I don't know. D'Anthony Melton 0 for 6, Game 6. He's not making those mistakes. I don't know. Sixers beat Celtics this year. I don't know. All right, let's move on to the second one. We were going to do pick of the day, but it's past the day.
Yeah.
They both hit, though.
They did both hit.
They both hit.
What were the picks of the day?
Malik Beasley over 15.5 points, rebounds, and
Drew Holiday over 1.5 threes.
If
you locked it in,
boom,
then
boom.
you hit it.
If you locked, if only you knew.
If only you knew.
If only you listened to us. Nobody listens to
1-0.
us. 1-0. But
It's a pretty good record.
I guess we'll move forward to tomorrow. I mean, no, I guess we need to think about the player props more.
True.
So
I can make little bets.
Yeah. Sure. But it's starting to make sense. And FanDuel will be legal in North Carolina very soon.
Hawks Hornets.
Hawks Hornets.
Hornets. Lock it in.
No.
Take it.
That's kind of a crazy pick, but
It's a good pick.
these bad teams have been playing kind of decently.
They really have.
They have.
And the Hawks are a bad team that is bad.
Sadiq Bey, the seller.
Can we just address the elephant in the room, though? Miles Bridges is a hooper. Please, somebody's got to say it. The kid can hoop, and he got three counts dropped.
He's an innocent man as of right now.
As of right now, he's changed.
And he's balling.
And I think he would be a decent fit in the city of brotherly love. But that's just my personal opinion.
I don't think that would happen.
Daryl
It seems like he's going to go to the Suns. You guys would rather have Kyle Lowry.
I think he's going to be a Hornet for life, personally. He's denying trades. I think the Hornets are going to lock him in.
I mean, he's such a loyal guy.
He's such a loyal, lovable
People
fan,
hate on him, too.
Focused man.
Not a lot of teams want him.
Definitely respects women.
A lot of teams don't want him.
Yeah,
But
it seemed like the Suns were the ones making the biggest push until he shut that down.
Yeah. All right, just looking through these games, if I had to pick one bet, though, just going off spreads, I'm going to say the Clippers plus 3.5
Amir
against
Coffey.
the Warriors.
Let me look at the spread.
Actually, I don't know. The Warriors have been playing.
They've been playing
the
really
Warriors
nice.
some people are saying
Steph
the
Curry has
Warriors are
been
back.
balling. Some people are saying
I
the
think
Warriors
they're
are back.
overrating that, though, because
But back
Clippers are
from
good.
what? And, like, where are they back to?
Back from
Like, they're not good.
Draymond being suspended and back to being kind of mid
Draymond owns
to above average.
Nurkic. He owns Nurkic.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Nurkic is being a baby about the situation, though. You gotta let Draymond do his thing. Sixers are beating the Heat.
Yeah, but
The Heat are on a
spreads
high.
are close.
Yeah, well, the Heat just played, and they beat the Bucks, and they're good.
What do you guys think about Knicks Magic?
I think
Orlando's by 2.5.
I feel like Knicks have to start winning if they want to prove that they're actually
Yeah,
as
but-
good as they think.
I don't think the Knicks are as good as they think, though.
They don't, and they aren't, and they were getting a lot of hype from a lot of people.
They were.
People
Jalen
were-
Brunson was playing like a superstar
He
for a
was.
while there.
He was, and they got good players. Like they have Anunoby, they have a bunch of like really solid complementary guys around them. Just
They
Julius
got- they
Randle's
got
a fucking
Bogdan.
curse is the problem.
True. And he's not even playing, though.
He's not.
What if
we'll
he never
see.
comes back?
We'll see. What do you guys think the realistic ceiling for the? Because they were third best to come out of the East odds. What do you guys think about?
I mean,
realistic ceiling.
They're getting first rounded.
You think?
Yes.
I don't
I don't know.
I don't
made
think
it
they
second
have
round
to.
last
I
year.
think
I mean, who
think
would-
there are some interesting matchups, like because
Who wouldn't
in the
beat the
playoffs,
Knicks?
it feels like to me there's the top. There's going to be
They
the
play
top
the
three,
Pacers.
which is like pretty obvious: Celtics, Bucks, Sixers. If Embiid's back and healthy,
Yeah.
and
Cavs.
after that, the
those
Cavs. I mean,
Cavs.
like we'll get into this.
We
But,
could get
like,
into it right now. I mean, it's a pretty good.
Is that our
transition,
next topic?
but
All right.
I guess
All right. So we all picked our top 5 teams in the East. We all picked our top 5 teams in the West. We're going to see how they line up. We're going to go 1 pick each. We go 1-1-1, 2-2-2, and all the way to 5.
And these are. We were just mentioning contenders. These are at the moment, right now.
Right, but it's right now who we think are the top contenders.
Well, yeah, but like
Well,
right now, if
Yeah.
the playoffs
Yeah.
was right this second,
Yeah.
how are these teams rank?
Yep.
All right. Do you want to go with your first pick in the East?
Yes.
Or should we start with West?
Wait, before we start with the East,
You
the
you
injury-
can't
is injury
can't do
count-
this. Yes.
is the injury count?
You can't
So,
argue that.
Joel Embiid,
You
he's
can't
hurt right
argue
now.
that.
Joel Embiid is not. This is Sixers without Joel Embiid. Is how I'm rating these teams.
I did not rate it that way.
We told you to rate it that way.
Okay,
That's what I
whatever.
meant. That's what I felt like I
at
remember
first,
like
at
that right
first,
now.
I had the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Just because they're 42-12.
Okay.
Only reason.
I mean, did you have someone?
I also had the Boston Celtics
Okay.
40. They're 42
All
as
right.
well.
The Boston Celtics are the #1 team in the East and in the league, and they all took it.
What the Boston Celtics are doing right now is impressive.
I mean, they have a super team. They have Chris and Drew, and those aren't even the top 3
That's
guys.
just a good GM. That's Brad Stevens.
The team is
Danny
very well
Ainge.
put together.
It is.
But if the Boston Celtics do not win this year,
Yes.
things are going to get
Yes.
ugly.
Yeah, it's not about
or bust.
It's not about the Celtics like, oh, I want them to win the championship so bad. Like they have to, or you'll never see me again.
Tatum's gonna have questions to answer. It's gonna be.
Like, actually, what will happen in Boston if the Celtics don't win? Because they've been in contention for the last couple of years.
Celtics, if you don't win the championship, it's over. It's over.
Fandom over?
It depends.
You just got so much gear.
That's
How
crazy.
are you going to not wear all that?
Well, because they're gonna win the championship. You'll see me at the
They're not. They're gonna
Celtics
implode.
parade naked and painted green. Lock
That's
it in.
also crazy.
Lock it in.
It sucks that it's
If
never
the
gonna
Celtics,
happen.
if the Celtics win the championship this year, I'll go to the parade naked.
Okay.
Celtics
Shake-
gonna get
shake
knocked out
on
in the
that.
first round by the Magic.
They're not winning.
So
That's
I'm
true.
actually telling you, if the Celtics match up against the Magic in the first round,
You understand? It's not
Be
like
afraid.
It's not like that this year.
No, they
It-
won't lose a first round
It has
series.
been in the past, but it's not like that
they, got,
this year.
they
Let's
lost
not-
every game I saw to
they're
the Magic
beatable.
this year.
Let's not
Actually,
act like the
that's not true.
Celtics
They
aren't
swept
beatable.
them.
Are you serious?
No.
Let's not act like the Celtics aren't beatable. That's all I'm going to say.
The Celtics
But
are
let's just move on
beatable
a second. We can't talk about it forever.
by like
Yeah.
no, they're not beatable. I don't
Yes.
think so. In the
They are
series,
beatable.
I don't think they're gonna get stopped by anybody.
That's what you think.
It is what I think. It's what I know.
Okay, sounds good. What about Kristaps?
Oh,
Achilles
in the
pop.
in-season tournament that
What
Huh?
about
Okay.
Tatum?
If
ACL ripped
in
in
the
half.
hypothetical situation, God forbid, Porzingis
God
gets
forbid. God forbid.
Porzingis gets hurt, then it's less a lock, I think, because he's really important to the team and he just adds so much.
Yeah,
Then when he leaves, they just
true.
can't.
They're real dependent on
And if
Porzingis.
Derek White doesn't step up, if he does go down, then because he's not been looking great,
Oh, yeah.
No, Derek White's
Needs a
playing
baby.
down.
he needs a baby.
Needs a
That's
baby.
that's a
Derek
baby
White,
theory.
have that third baby.
Have sex, Derek White.
That's
Have
what's
sex,
the theory?
Derek White. Have sex,
Have
Derek
sex.
White.
Explain the theory.
The
your
theory?
wife.
Yeah. That
What?
he's baby dependent.
Oh, yes. Derek White is baby dependent. Every single time he's had a baby, the first baby was in the playoffs and he dropped 30 points after missing the game. And the second one, he became God until a few weeks ago. And
All-star.
they
He's
had
gonna
him
be an
locked. They had
all-star.
him locked in as an all-star.
It was pretty crazy.
And then he lost it for himself, honestly.
Yeah.
Derek White looked like pressure wasn't even a thing. Like he was just there and like he was just playing basketball and that's it.
Yep.
All right, should we do number 2?
Yep. Coming out of Philadelphia, I got a team by the name of the 76ers. Nick Nurse is a god. I think he's underrated as shit. And just thinking about it, if they played Milwaukee, there's zero chance Nick Nurse loses to Doc Rivers when we have Embiid. I know we don't have Embiid right now, but Hield is also playing very well. Maxey is a top guard in the East. Top 3, top 2 maybe. Might be over Halliburton.
That's a really bad
No, it's not. He's overrated. But
not
they're
that
playing really well,
overrated.
and I like the way that they're constructed. They finally have shooters, and they finally have athleticism.
Okay. Well, I have the Cavs as number 2. Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
they lost. Yes, they lost to
Wow.
the Sixers yesterday. But that means they're 17-2 in their last 19 games. That's pretty good, and they moved up to second. I've seen a lot of power
They moved up to
rankings that still have them at number 1, which is ridiculous because Celtics.
It's
don't.
pretty ridiculous. Yeah, the Cavs. But I mean, I think we talked about it. The Cavs do this every year.
Yeah,
They
they
do.
do.
They go on a
do.
run.
This is hypothetical though,
Yeah.
because
Right.
like they are gonna get in the playoffs and choke every year. They're pretenders.
They are pretenders.
Yeah.
Which
Ca-
the same argument could be made about the New York Knicks, but
It can be. I messed up my list honestly.
Yeah. I
me
mean,
too, but-
we'll see.
Nah,
I-
I'm locking in my list.
Controversially, potentially, have the Bucks.
Okay.
no, that's not that controversial. I don't think.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are the second. I mean, even though they're
They
coached by
are.
Doc Rivers, I don't think they're going to win the championship. But Embiid's out, and they have Giannis and Dame, and they're playing well. They're playing
They are.
real well. They just beat the Nuggets. They can lose some easy games, though.
They got
had-
smoked by the
they-
hospital heat tonight,
they-
actually.
It's
but
pretty bad
The
sometimes.
Heat do own the Bucks all of a sudden.
Doc Rivers has made this team worse, I feel like.
I don't know.
Like they're
bro.
they're losing games that they should be winning.
But also,
But
like
they
Doc
beat
Rivers
the
can
Nuggets by a
look
lot.
as good as he wants right now. It doesn't matter come
Doesn't
playoff
matter.
time.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We've seen this story time and time again.
Yeah.
Well,
But I still think that they're it's Giannis and Dame. They're
yeah, they
playing
are.
right.
And they also have like Bobby Portis, Malik Beasley, Jay Crowder, blah 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 blah, Brook
Blah, blah,
Lopez,
blah. Rick Lopez.
Pat Bev.
Patrick
Pat
Beverly.
Bev.
Pour one out.
Rest in peace, my brother. Campaign's better than you though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Third, I got the Milwaukee Bucks.
Uh-huh.
Basically what Jamie just said. They have a good roster. Look,
Yeah.
Glenn's an idiot.
Well, I said the Knicks because I feel like obviously they lost to the Rockets, but also Brunson, like, he looks good now, but I used to not like Jalen Brunson very much because he would just like go for 40 and then shoot like 0 for 10 in like the first half. And that form of Brunson showed up yesterday against the Rockets, which is not something you want to see when you're missing all your guys. So if you're in a close game and Dylan Brooks is the one that is beating you, basically, it's not a good look. I still think that their pieces and the trade deadline that they had, I still think it puts them in the third spot.
Yeah. Fair. Great trade. They had the best trade deadline.
Yeah.
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a nice trade deadline. In my third spot, that's where I put the Cavs.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even though they do this every year, can't really ignore this kind of run.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And they just did get beat by the Sixers, but clearly I have the Sixers below them. I think that was more like a fluke, honestly. I think the Cavs is a better constructed team than the Sixers are at the moment.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Without Joel Embiid, every team is better constructed.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, we have no rim protector, but whatever. I'm just going to do 4 and 5. I put the Knicks at 4 and the Cavs at 5. I really do think that the Cavs are just like, I mean, Jared Allen was scared of the first round. Like, what does that say? The lights were too bright for him in the first round. Like, that can't be a good sign. Like, they're too dependent on Mitchell. Garland's has never really taken the leap that he needs to. I don't know. George Niang can't help.
Yeah,
They can't help.
He can't be a playoff producer.
So, yeah, I mean, the Knicks at 4, like, they got OG, Brunson. Those are 2 dogs. So,
All right. Well, I guess I'll just say my last two. It's been the same ones. I've got Bucks at 4. It's because they do have a really good team with Giannis and Dame. Doc Rivers, he's a winner. Doc Rivers is a winner.
What a bad take.
Whoa. Don't need to get rowdy.
Doc Rivers is a bum.
Doc
Don't ever
Rivers-
say he's not a winner. 0 for
No.
7 his last game 7.
Doc Rivers is
And he sold against the Atlanta Hawks.
he's a winner, but he can't win anymore.
He can't win. He's the owner of blown 3-1
Rivers
leads.
wants to be a winner so
He
bad.
is.
So bad.
He's a fake winner. A monkey could have coached that 08 Celtics team. Jamie?
My
I need to hold myself back.
my
was
last
self-control.
two, I went Sixers Knicks.
Okay.
I think the Knicks are a little fraudulent. I think Julius Randle's a bad. I don't think he's gonna put numbers up in the playoffs. Yeah, he goes on runs every once in a while, and he could, but I don't see them winning against any of the teams in a series at the moment or in games at the moment against any of the teams above them. And Jalen Brunson's fallen off a little bit. He's gotten a little worse. But I do like OG. I do like that pickup. If Mitchell Robinson can stay healthy, that'd be cool. He was playing really well. That was fun to watch. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah. All right, there it is. Top 5 of the East as of the All-Star break. I guess we'll move on to the West. Reigning champion Denver Nuggets sitting 4th. Currently, the Timberwolves are in 1st, half a game ahead of the Thunder. We're 37-17. Clippers are 35-17 in 3rd. A game and a half out of 1st. And the Nuggets are in 4th, a game and a half out of 1st. And then it's Pelicans, Suns, Kings, Mavs. For my first spot, I had the Denver Nuggets. I just feel like they've proven it, and Jamal, like, they have studs all over. They're like a playoff team. They're huge. They can rebound. They can shoot. Like, yeah.
Wow. That was really nice of you.
Nothing said about Jokic.
That was very nice
No
of you.
compliments given about Jokic.
That was a pretty big compliment to the Denver Nuggets.
Jamal Murray's a fucking dog. Like, you can't
It's true.
deny it. He doesn't
He
miss
doesn't
at
miss.
times.
He doesn't miss.
He doesn't miss
It's
at
pretty
times.
incredible.
All right. Well, I've got the Timberwolves
Okay.
as number 1. I mean, they're the top of the West. Cat's been playing like weirdly well, but like if you watch, like he looks like he's so bad. But like he's putting up the numbers. He's hitting the threes. He had a 63-point game. I mean,
Yeah, but tell the story of that game. They wanted him. They were forcing that. He got benched at the end of the game because they were forcing it to him, and he missed every shot.
Timberwolves are still number 1 in the West to me.
They do have Ann Edwards, so.
They do.
And Gobert is the D-boy favorite.
Mike Conley.
No, they have a good system over there.
They do.
It's if
Nas Reed.
if Ant's getting doubled, I saw Ant. Did you see Ant's quote on getting doubled? Because he can either he said he doesn't understand why they get doubled because he can just pass it out to Cat who's shooting 40% from 3.
Yeah.
And you add on their defense, like they're
Yep.
one of the best
defensive
defensive leagues
Yeah.
or defensive teams in the league.
They have
So,
been the best in the league. Yeah, and they got pieces. Nas Reed, Nikhil Alexander-Walker. There's probably some more that I'm forgetting.
Kyle Anderson.
Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. UCLA, thank you. What about you, Jamie? Who's your number one?
In the West, my number one team is the Clippers. I think that team is just crazy when it's working. They had a run for a little bit a while ago, where it was just everywhere when they were firing on all cylinders. Kawhi, Harden, Paul George, and Westbrook, who is a sneaky, very important piece of this team.
I agree. I mean, also he's undervalued off the bench. Like him having as a sixth man is not bad at all.
It works very well because he just puts in effort. He's a dog.
He is, and he can still pass. Like he's still Russell Westbrook at the end of the day. He might have like limits shooting wise, but he can still impact the game heavily.
But yeah, I think they're a real good team.
Yeah.
My number one in the West.
We'll see though. Haven't had a great history in the playoffs.
No, they have not, and maybe Paul George will want to leave.
And maybe James Harden sells so bad, Paul George has to leave. But that is a fantasy. In second, I had the Dallas Mavericks. They have been hot, scorching lately, mostly off Luka, and their trade deadline acquisitions have been sneaky, very sneaky. Daniel Gafford is like the perfect piece for that team. Like he provides what they need. It's rim protecting and a lob threat offensively, especially with Lively out. So and PJ Washington, like they're just stacked. I mean, the offense is great because of Luka, and they also have Kyrie. So I think that they really can go toe to toe with pretty much anybody.
I like that pick.
Thank you.
All right. For my second, I go with the Clippers. I mean, they got Kawhi, Paul George, Russell Westbrook. They got Amir Coffey.
Amir Coffey,
like
underrated.
That Amir Coffey, he's always gonna be number 2. So lock it in.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Quote that shit.
Number 2.
What does that number 2 mean?
He's always gonna be number 2.
He's number 2 on the Clippers.
I don't know.
He's a lock. He's a lock in betting.
I'll lock that.
His
Hey,
over is a lock.
lock it in. Number 2.
Lock that in.
No.
It's
Okay,
number
maybe
7.
he's like the number. He's the second most important player on the Clippers.
It's number 7. Kawhi wears 2.
Facts.
All right.
Amir Coffey, you're number 2. Lock it in.
Awesome.
Pass on to Jamie.
My number 2 is not Amir Coffey. It's the Timberwolves. And yeah, I think they got an awesome team, and they got a huge Ant fan.
Yeah.
Ant needs to not be on the Timberwolves in the future, though. Like he's got to move around. He's just too fun of a player to stay in Minnesota.
Yeah.
No offense, Minnesota, but you're boring.
Yep.
And
cold.
I don't like Gobert, but he fits well on this team.
Yeah, he does.
And they're playing well.
I mean, as much as like nobody likes him, he is a system at the rim.
He also
Like, he's a
started
defensive
COVID.
System. He did start that shit. That was crazy. In my third, it was crazy. My third, I had the Timberwolves. Not the Ant Edwards bank shots have been insane this year, and I want to see how far he can push that.
Okay. I went with the Thunder for my third pick.
Okay.
I think just the Thunder is just such a fun team to watch, and they've been up and coming for so long, going to form themselves a little dynasty, and they're really heating up offensively. And Chet Holmgren is like getting like 5 blocks every single game, and Shea is very high up in the MVP conversation, and he's providing for that team perfectly. If they didn't have Josh Giddey, then maybe it's a different story. Even though he's innocent, lock that in too.
We can't be pushing Josh Giddey innocent agendas on the
they're-
first podcast. Can't be pushing
Gotta
that.
warm him up to it.
Thunder is number 3. Pass on to Jamie.
My number 3 team is the Denver Nuggets, defending champs. Jamal Murray's incredible.
Yeah.
He's better. Like he seems like he's more important than Jokic when I'm watching these teams.
Oh,
Jokic is like the offense funnels through Jokic, but Jamal Murray lands every single shot you don't want him to hit.
Yep.
That's coming from somebody who doesn't want the Nuggets to hit a shot. But it's
they are. I mean, he's insane. In my fourth spot, I had the Los Angeles Clippers. They're really good, but I have questions about how they're going to handle Harden's disappointment come playoff time. So,
All right. For my number 4 pick, I've got the Nuggets. Jamal Murray is really good. KCP, naming my kids after him. Jokic, don't even get me started on Jokic. He's got some scratches on his arms. He's the second best offensive player in the world.
Currently healthy.
Currently healthy. And he should be averaging a triple-double at this point, but he's not. So that's why they're number 4, and he's not the MVP.
It's embarrassing.
Fraud.
But Nuggets number 4, scratch it in. Pass it on Jamie.
I like that. That was pretty cool. I got the Thunder at number 4. For pretty much all the same reasons you said earlier. Thunder are pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see them coming up. Shea's amazing. Chet's amazing. I'm just worried that they're young. That's pretty much it. They're young, and they just, I feel like they're missing one little piece. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
Like a big man, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Somebody with more size. Chet's tall, but
He can't be the only one.
you need somebody a little thicker.
Can't be that small.
Yeah.
For my 5 spot, I did not have the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not in my top 5. I had the Phoenix Suns. They pushed the Nuggets close last year, which I think is being overlooked a little bit, and they got better. So you can't sleep too much on D-Book and Durant, and I forgot they had Beal in that moment. We'll see, man. They're scary, and I think that they could definitely go toe-to-toe with anybody.
Okay. Well, I did not have the Phoenix Suns in my top 5. For number 5, I had the Mavs. Surprised. I was expecting you to have them lower, but I expected us all to have them in the top 5. I didn't expect you to put them number 2.
Yeah.
Which is it's not a bad thing though, because Kyrie's back. They've won 5 games in a row, and Luka has proved that even if he's not scoring like 40 points, like even though they played the Wizards, like he's still accounted for it with 15 assists, and he got a triple-double. So like he's the best offensive player in the world right now. That's healthy. But you could also argue that Luka is a better offensive player than Embiid.
You could argue that, but Embiid draws more people.
Yeah, with his foul baiting.
No, he's not. Embiid does not foul bait. You can't guard him. I mean, obviously he does a couple. But
what do you call
so
that?
does Durant, and so does Curry.
He foul baits
They're
as much
all
as
foul
everybody else.
baiting.
Nah, but there's levels to it.
Embiid, you know how much darker his skin is? That's why you can't see his scratches like Jokic.
He's getting hacked.
He's getting hacked.
He's a bad whistle, but whatever.
I agree, though. My number team is also the Mavs. Their number 5 team is also the Mavs. Yeah, it's Luka's the best offensive player in the world right now. It's literally like you were saying. It's a choice what he wants to do on offense. He can drop 40 if he wants, or he can get 20 assists if he wants.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Yeah. And then I had the Suns at 6 though. I agree there, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be super interested to see a Mavericks Sun series.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so good.
It's gonna be
because
awesome.
Luka
Playoffs.
owns Booker.
And,
It does, but
He owns
theirs
Book.
is insane.
and almost all these matchups, there's not like a for sure thing winner too. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah. I guess we can go on to our next segment. We already talked about the Sixers and Celtics. Celtics are supposed to win the championship. They're the best team in the NBA, apparently, by record. And the Sixers are on the come up, but he knows the truth. So that's pretty much that. But just kind of what's going on around the league. We talked a lot about the Mavs come up, but something we did not talk about is the Pacers, who have fallen off a little bit. They were really hot to start the year. Halliburton was getting a ton of credit. People saying he was on the same level as Ant Edwards and Shai Gilgeous, which was slightly crazy. But they are cooled off. They traded Buddy to the Sixers, which it doesn't really make that much sense in my mind. They're currently in 6th, 3 games out of 5th. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that team?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I mean the Pacers. Yeah, I mean they were from what I've read and seen. It seems like they're trying to develop people outside of Buddy, but like, Buddy's like look at what he's doing right now. Like Buddy's.
I mean, yeah.
He's a good shooter. He's racking up assists.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. I feel like he deserves a spot on. He deserves on every team.
He's a starter for that team.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that was their first move that they wanted to do, because they got Siakam, but like they had a good team with them two, Buddy Hield, Miles Turner. Like that's a really good team.
Yeah.
Siakam just made them slower, and it felt like their speed was such an important part of
Yep.
their success early on.
Because they don't play defense. That's the whole game, is that they just score on offense
Yeah.
every time. They need the speed. That's why Buddy Hield's perfect, because he can hit threes like crazy, and he's just a good offensive player.
Yeah. So then let me ask you the question, like, the Pacers, their whole philosophy this year was to like play no defense and just pass the shit out of the ball, keep the shit moving, keep the ball moving, and it's been working. They were at an incredible offensive rate. And then they went out and like not forced, but like managed for the Siakam trade, who he's not the exact like market star, A-list market star, and they've gotten worse since. I don't know. I feel like that was a little forced, and it kind of ruined their identity slightly.
I mean, they had the team to do what they wanted to do and run the quick offense, and then they just slowly picked it apart, so now you don't have that
It's
anymore.
weird, yeah. When the trade happened, I feel like everybody was applauding the fit because it was something they didn't have, but it just wasn't, like in hindsight, and honestly, I didn't even see it at the time, but in hindsight, it just wasn't something they needed.
Yeah. I think that's because people are also like going off of like a scale of how a team is supposed to be built.
Yeah.
But it's like when you see the Pacers who are playing like that unorthodox and it's working, I think you got to stick with it.
They had an insane beginning of the
I
season.
agree. It was awesome.
Insane. It was ridiculous. They went to the in-season tournament finals.
Yeah, but LeBron, that was always
LeBron got his
LeBron's
banner
in-season
though.
tournament.
LeBron got his banner.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a choice.
Also, another team that is trending, but in the opposite direction, in the opposite conference, is the Golden State Warriors. As I said, they're favored against the Clippers tomorrow. Clippers are in third. The Warriors are in 10th. They're at 26 and 25. Definitely had some rough starts with the whole Draymond thing. Klay Thompson's washed his shit also. But Curry's Curry, so they're looking decent. What do you guys think about that team?
I mean, Curry is on an insane streak right now. When I check the line for his three-pointers and it's at 6.5, like that is ridiculous, and he still got it. He hit 5 threes in the fourth quarter. Like he is, that also probably is why he's pushing for clutch player of the year. He's just always been the same Steph Curry, just so clutch, and he has like his down games, but then he just shows up like the next game with like an insane offensive performance.
Yeah.
Like he can easily lead the Warriors up into the rankings for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they are technically in a play-in spot right now at 10, but I don't think they stay there.
Yeah, the only way to go is up from there.
Yeah.
They just
For
need
this
someone
team,
else
that's
to
their
perform.
floor. That's their floor for sure. Because
Yeah.
Clay is washed, but like he could come back.
He
He
always
scored
can.
20 points last game, 11 for 19 from the field, or 26 points. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So,
The problem
it's
though
pretty
is
fun.
like the only team ahead of them that like really I could see them passing is the Lakers. Like, is it gonna be the Kings that they pass?
The Kings have felt a little fraudulent,
They have,
but
It's just where
it
they
depends. I don't know. The Warriors, as easily as the Warriors have turned it on, they could just lose it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get
'Cause
so hot and cold.
It felt like they were down so far that like that was what their norm was, and now they're playing out of their norm a
Yeah.
little bit at the moment.
Yeah.
But who
'Cause they're
knows?
really
It's the
relying on
Warriors.
Steph
It's Steph Curry.
Yep.
But I mean, that the other night you knew that shot was going to him, and you knew he was making it, even though
Yeah.
it was like it's crazy.
And we've been saying that for years. Like if they give Steph Curry the ball, he's gonna make the shot. He's just so clutch,
yeah.
unbelievably clutch.
I guess we could also talk about another current topic, which is actually on that team, Draymond Green, the fucking ticking time bomb that is Draymond Green. If we're being honest, like.
He's already exploded multiple times.
Exploded multiple times. That shit with Nurkic the first time was so unnecessary. It was actually hilarious. But that rivalry's heated up. Nurkic and Draymond. They were going. Nurkic said that he doesn't deserve a second chance. Draymond responded on his podcast, calling him a bum. They were going back on social media, calling each other fat or what have you. Just fun to see. Obviously bad for the game, but fun to watch.
I mean, it doesn't seem like Draymond, like, I feel like none of the players that Draymond has really done this to have really spoken out about it like Nurkic has.
Yeah.
Like, especially in this day and age when Draymond's got his whole broadcasting, his whole podcast, his whole everything, like, there's no reason why Nurkic should have said anything afterwards because Draymond Green is too high in the rankings of, like the figures in the NBA, like the whole
He
association.
got clout.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he's broadcasting with Tatum on
Dude,
Saturday.
is Tatum like going to TV?
I don't know.
He's gonna
He's
retire.
going to the Lakers.
Bro, he's such a Laker. Oh my God, he's built for modeling and he's built for TV. It's so sad.
He's gonna like
He's
his players
soft
for.
as fuck.
They're gonna unretire Kobe's jersey. They're gonna put his statue
That's a
next to
theory.
it.
That's a theory. The statue's
Yeah.
gonna be like
And
He's
then
gonna get
him
buried
celebrating
next to
Tatum,
Kobe.
Tatum on his knees right in front of the statue.
Imagine Tatum in a 24 jersey. 24 Lakers jersey.
Oh my
I can
God,
already
he's so
imagine.
cold.
Is that how disrespectful is that?
It's not disrespectful. He plays like Kobe. He's the best player in the whole world.
With
Lock
that
it in.
bullshit, we will call it a wrap. That's got to be my cue. Don't ever disrespect Joel or be like that ever again in your entire life.
Go Celtics.
Go Birds.
Right.
Buddy Hield.
Sixer. Buddy Love.
Tyrese Maxey. We will see you the next time.